Isang magandang araw, mga YouTubers, or in this case, since ito ay somewhat tutorial sa mga students, isang magandang araw. So, ako nga pala si Tito-riAL, or ang inyong magiging tutor dito sa ating tinatawag kong tutorial. Okay? This would be the first part of the operations management subject or course. Ito ay para sa mga business management students or business administration students, or I think engineering, if I'm not mistaken, meron ding operations management na subject. This would be one of my first kasi meron akong nagawang dating video na tungkol din sa subject. Pero nauna ko kasi siyang ginawa before tong video na to. Kaya nakalagay sa title ko is a prequel to tutorial number 1. So, ito yung parang prequel. Wala. Parang Star Wars lang ganun. Okay? So, let's start now with my topic about productivity. So, pag-usapan natin about productivity and productivity measurement. So, let's start. I said earlier, productivity a prequel to tutorial number 1. Okay? So, let's start now with our topic. Now, guys, just in case, I do apologize. Sorry kung there are times na naglalag yung video ko. Alam nyo naman, Tito ako. Si Tito-riAL. Medyo matanda na. So, hindi ako ganun kateki. Actually, for this they called new normal, inaral ko talaga as much as I can kung paano ko makakapag-provide ng service ko to students, to my students particularly. Pero syempre, idadamay ko na rin kayo, lalo na yung mga tinatawag kong mga Pangli. Ito ay primarily para sa mga Pangli. Ano yung Pangli? Pang-likod. Ay, dahil si Tito nyo, nung nag-aaral ako, nandun lang din ako sa likod. Ang puhunan ko lang sa pag-aaral, dalawa. Hard work at diskarte. Yan lang. So, ito ay para sa mga estudyante masisipag at madidiskarte. Okay? So, let's start now with the difference between production and productivity. Now, when we say production, it is the activity involved in the creation of goods or providing a service. So, lahat ng ginagawa natin para makagawa tayo ng isang produkto o makapagbigay tayo ng serbisyo sa ating mga customer, that is production. Okay? While when we say productivity, it is the ratio of outputs divided by the inputs. So, alam na this, guys. By the mere fact na may ratio na nakalagay dyan at divided by, alam na natin na ang formula niya ay automatic is the output over input or output divided by the inputs. But don't worry, madali lang to. Madali lang yung formula niya. It's a matter of division. Pero, to explain further what productivity means, productivity is a measurement, right? It is a measurement on how efficient or effective a company is in managing their input in order to provide quality output. So, kung gaano kagaling ang isang organization na gamitin as much as possible ang minimum inputs nila para makapag-provide ng maximum output without sacrificing the quality of product or the provision of service. Effective, efficient. Ano ba difference yung dalawa? Oh, nakita nyo? May nagtanong na senior. Baka hindi pa gumagraduate. Okay? So, ang tanong niya, ano daw ang pagkakaiba ng efficient sa effective? Okay, sige, paliwanag natin kung ano pagkakaiba ng efficient sa effective. When we say efficient or efficiency, that is doing things right. Ginagawa mo ng tama. While, pag sinabi natin effective, that is doing the right things. Ginagawa mo yung tamang bagay. Okay? Or, pwede natin sabihin na ang efficiency is may ginagawa ka tapos kaya mong gawin ng mas konti ang inputs. Halimbawa, pag sinabi natin effective, kaya mong gawin ng isang bagay. Ganun na lang kasimple. Okay? Both of them, both efficient and effective, produces output, produces a result. But, ang effective kasi is, halimbawa, pag pinagawa ka ng silya, nakagawa ka ng silya. As, kung ano yung hinihingi sa iyo ng customer. Pero pag sinabi natin efficient ka, for example, suppose na ang silya ay ginagawa talaga at an average of 5 hours. Pero ikaw, nagawa mo siya in just 3 hours lang. So, meaning to say, you are more efficient in using your time. Kasi minimum resources lang yung nakuha mo. Pwede rin naman na sabihin na ang total cost or average cost ng paggawa ng isang silya ay pagpalagay na natin 1,000 pesos. But you, pag ikaw ang gumawa, nakakagawa ka ng same quality ng silya, pero it costs you 800 pesos lang. So, more efficient ka in managing your resources. Okay? So, that is the difference between efficiency and effectiveness. Okay? Gaano nga ba ka-importante ang productivity para sa isang organization? So, yun naman dito sa slide na to, the importance of productivity. Now, productivity relative to competition can lead to competitive advantage over the marketplace. So, if you are competing with the same market, syempre, over your competitors, productivity will help you to gain that edge over your competitors. Now, how can a company do that? That is through research and development. Now, bakit tayo nagkukumahog na naman sa research? Bakit ba natin kailangan yung research na yan? Familiar ba tayo dyan? Don't you know that research and development expenditure in terms of the GDP, So, kung titignan natin yung gross domestic product ng Pilipinas, ang percent na expenditure daw for research and development is 0.16 for 15%. Tignan natin para makita natin. It is 0.1641 or 42% daw ng GDP ang allocated ng mga company for research and development, and that is during 2015. So, if we take a look at the graph, itong graph na to, notice that for the last year, nagkaroon ng significant spike over the expenditures para sa research and development. Why? Because the company sees how important research and development could help in their productivity and ultimately help them over with their competitors or computation. And that is I would like to acknowledge World Bank for this research. So, gano'n ka-importante ang research and development para sa productivity and ultimately para sa organization to compete with their competitors in order to gain competitive advantage. Para makalamang-lamang. Another importance is productivity is linked together with higher standard of living. Now, cascade natin siya. Kanina, yung productivity is important for an organization Pero how important is productivity para sa atin, para sa community? It is said that productivity growth determines our living standards and the wealth of nation. So, living standards natin plus our country, yung wealth ng isang country. This is because the amount a nation can consume is ultimately closely tied to what it produces. So, kung gaano karami ang kayang i-consume ng community, closely tied up yan kung gaano karami ang kayang i-produce ng isang country. For example, if kaya nating mag-consume ng 1,000 tons of a certain product, kailangan ang country natin could produce 1,000 tons of that particular product. Pero, paano kung 1,000 ton yung requirement ng community pero ang country could only produce like 900 tons. So, merong deficiency, kulang. Okay? So, kailangan there is an equal balance of what the community requires and what the country can produce. Now, paano naman pagka mas marami yung napuproduce ng country kaysa sa kailangan ng community? Pwede natin siyang i-export. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, nasa-satisfy mo yung community mo and yung sobra mo, pwede mong i-export sa ibang bansa. And that would ultimately add up to the wealth of nation. Another thing is, the success of a business generally depends on its ability to deliver more real value for consumers without using more labor capital or other inputs. So, ang real value na makukuha ng consumer dyan, remember, ang business, ang gusto niyan is cost-efficient ka. The less cost, the more output, mas gusto ng business yan. But the real value for the consumer there is that even though na lesser yung input ng organization, hindi nagsasuffer yung quality ng product. Okay? So, paano yun, sir? Ang input gusto ng business is lower, like labor. How would it beneficial sa atin? Now, remember that only when there is an increase in productivity, nagkakaroon ng increase ng payment ang mga input. Paano nangyayari yun? Example, isang organization, nag-invest sila into machinery. Okay? Now, once we use machinery, once we automate our process, yes, we will use less labor. Okay? Now, kung less labor yan, nagkakaroon ng increase ng payment ang labor. Kasi nagkakaroon ng parang lesser demand for labor. Okay? Doon sa isang country na yon, nagkakaroon ng lesser demand for labor. So, ibig sabihin, mas mataas ang bayad para sa labor. Less ang cost kay machinery, high payment kay labor. For example, this is an economic issue kasi. For example, US and Japan. Mura sa kanila ang machineries. So, most of their companies sa production, they use automation, they use machineries. Ang bayad ng labor sa kanila is mataas. In our country, since labor intensive tayo, mura sa atin ang labor. Mahal sa atin ang machineries. Okay? Now, ano ang nangyayari? Since nakikita natin na for highly industrialized country, mahal ang labor, ang ginagawa ngayon ng Philippines, we produce labor for them. Kumbaga, kung tutusin, para tayong isang malaking human resource agency. Okay? Ang pinoproduce natin, actually, hindi na product. Ang pinoproduce natin is manpower for other countries. Kaya naging hero natin ang mga OFW. Okay? Mahal ang bayad sa kanila sa ibang bansa. Okay? So, I do hope you get that na ultimately with productivity, it would lead to higher payment din naman ng mga inputs. Now, yung usapin natin kanina about the wealth of station and ultimately lesser payment for the inputs and a higher production rate that could satisfy the community, it is actually a talk about the economic system. So pag sinabi natin economic system, that particular system adds value through the transformation of inputs to outputs. So yung process ng pag-convert natin ng input to output, nagkakaroon siya, nagbibigay siya ng added value for our customers. Okay? Nagkakaroon ng added value yung mga input na yon pag nagkaroon ng or pagka nakapag-produce tayo ng output. So, what are the example of an input and how does it play para sa economic system? So, example sa mga input is, if you check on the slide, you have labor. Yan, input natin yan. Kailangan yan sa paggawa ng isang produkto. You also have capital. Lagay na natin sa machine. You also have your overhead expenses. Examples of which are, syempre, yung electricity bill, your communication bill, your water bill, all of that. So, lagay na natin sa machine. And syempre, yung raw materials needed to produce the product. Right? Now, lagay natin sa machine. Okay? So, those are the examples of input. Now, nilagay natin siya sa machine and our machine would now try to process all of those inputs in order to generate an output. Okay? Now, one important mechanism also in an economic system is what we call now as the feedback loop. Why? Feedback is very important for the economic system and also for the organization because it helps the organization evaluates customer satisfaction. So, yung feedback, manggagaling yan kay customer, which the managers of certain organization use to control the input to produce, to control the input and transformation process para makapag-produce tayo ng isang product that the customer wants. This happens with Steve Jobs. Okay? Ang sa kanya kasi is customer approach. Aalamin niya muna ano ang kailangan ni customer, ano ang kailangan ng public. Saka siya maghahanap ng technology to produce what the public needs. Hindi katulad ng ibang company, ito ang kaya kong gawin, I will make a product for this one. Saka ako na problemahin yung market ko. No. Kay Steve Jobs, diba? Ano ang kailangan ng market? And then, he will look for the technology para ma-produce kung ano ang kailangan ng market. Okay? Now, remember, the objective of the organization is to improve productivity. Palaging improvement of productivity. What you could do now, you could do better next day, or we must be better than we are last year. Palaging ganun yung objective ng isang organization. They strive to be more productive. So, yun na nga guys. Natapos na tayo dun sa part 1 ng ating productivity. Mahaba kasi yung video. So, nag-decide ako na i-cut ko muna kasi baka mamaya makatulog na kayo. So, that's it muna. Dun sa preliminary natin ng productivity, the difference between production, productivity, yung importante, yung efficient, and effective, and also yung importance ng productivity in improving our standards of living. Now guys, if you are satisfied so far on my video, please like this channel and then also try to share. So, makatulong din naman tayo sa iba. And most important is comment. Please comment if there are something that you yourself would like to advise me on how to improve my tutorial, and also if you would like a topic that I would like to delve into, yung mga topic na gusto nyong gawan ko ng tutorial. Okay? So again guys, please stay tuned for the part 2 of productivity, which talks about product or productivity measurement. Okay? Again guys, keep safe and share.
Iskul Bukol